And we're back.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. So, we're continuing on with section one. From
So
music.
we're gonna go straight into music news, as some people who actually pay attention to this sort of thing know. Coachella was this last weekend, and again, as some of you may or may not know, those of you who pay attention to this sort of thing have noticed, and those of you who do listen to the radio or keep any sort of watch over the internet, definitely know that this has happened because the internet just lost their shit over it. At Coachella, a really cool thing that happened was Sunday night on the stage, they had a hologram of Tupac, Tupac Shakur, pretty much just get up on stage and start rapping along with Eminem, um, Snoop Dogg, and Dre. I'm not sure. I didn't actually watch any of Coachella for that matter, but apparently it was really, really cool. And honestly, from all the screenshots and everything that I've seen, yeah, it looks really pretty awesome. But everyone, but everyone on the, not everyone was happy about this really, because as um as he in as he English as Tupac got onto the stage, he he introduced himself with "What the fuck is up, Coachella?" And as anyone who actually knows, as anyone who keeps track knows, Tupac died in 1996. Coachella didn't start until 1999, which means someone had to record that dialogue, and it wasn't Tupac. And yeah, I know there's people out there who'll be like, "Nah, dude, Tupac is totally not dead. He's totally just chilling out with Elvis and Michael
Michael
Jackson and
Jackson
all that."
down in Miami.
Yeah, but let's be fair. Tupac's dead. Tupac's dead. Michael's dead. Elvis is dead. They're all dead.
Zombies.
For the sake of journalistic integrity, they're all dead. Which means someone whose name is not Tupac Shakur recorded Tupac Shakur saying, "What the fuck is up, Coachella?" And obviously, and somewhat legitimately, there's some people who have a little bit of a problem with that because honestly, it, to quote James Montgomery, MTV News senior writer, it didn't really seem right to me because it. And honestly, I kind of agree with him. If you're gonna do a thing with someone who's dead, don't go over recording new lines for him and trying to as he put it, it raises these weird questions about artist legacy. How long until you see every casino in Vegas get Elvis or Billie Holiday, and they have these sort of quote unquote live shows of these people? And it's just I mean, his his family did okay it. Dr. Dre himself okayed it. There were a lot of people who did approve of this, and it was extremely well done. And I've actually heard really astounding things about this, but there are some people who do kind of have their panties in a bunch over it. Now,
Yeah.
the internet shouldn't really have lost their shit over the fact, "Oh God, we have holograms now. Look what we can do with technology." There's really, to be honest, there's nothing new here. There is nothing new in Tupac's hologram that has really happened. If you break it down to just the bare essentials of what it was, this was just a Pepper's Ghost effect. It was just a really high tech Pepper's Ghost. And what Pepper's Ghost is, to extremely simplify it, is basically you're taking some mirrors, and I may be explaining this wrong. It's been a while since I brushed up on my Pepper's Ghost effects. I was never that kind of a magician. But what Pepper's Ghost is you take a bunch of mirrors and you project some images. You project different views of this image that you want to people to see onto these mirrors, and if you do it just right, it should look like there's actually someone, like a hologram.
Yeah.
And a good example of this for anyone who's actually seen it is the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland or Disney World, or any of the Disney Haunted Mansions, I would assume. Any of the ones that have the haunted ballroom. This is essentially the same effect that they do there, except kind of a different implementation, because how Disney does it, they kind of just reflect these mannequins onto the glass. Sorry if I'm breaking the illusion for anyone here.
No, my childhood.
They're just reflecting mannequins onto the glass, and it works. It's a really simple version of Pepper's Ghost, essentially. And what this was, it's a lot higher technology. I believe this is one of the highest tech Pepper's Ghost effects that we've ever actually seen. I may be wrong, don't quote me on it, but apparently how this worked was they had 3 projectors sitting on stage broadcasting simultaneously extremely high quality footage and CG, and just they tried to make it as realistic looking as they possibly could. And honestly, from the shots that I've seen, it worked really well. It is still a little bit unsettling, but that's what Pepper's Ghost is supposed to do. It's supposed to be unsettling. It was originally intended to scare people. But I do like it, but I really wish we could do something new instead of just tossing a Pepper's Ghost up on stage again. I wish we could actually get actual holograms or stuff like that, because really this is extremely limited, because you have to limit the hologram itself. It can't move around very much because it is mirrors, and these mirrors are extremely big, and when mirrors are extremely big, mirrors are extremely heavy, and mirrors do not like being heavy, and heavy mirrors do not like being moved. So really, you're kind of limited to the amount of space that this hologram has to perform with. You're limited to the size of your mirrors, essentially. And you also have to limit anyone else who's on stage with them, because if these performers on stage get in the way of any of the projectors or anything like that, it's going to totally screw up the illusion. Again, because that's the whole illusion, is these projectors, and if anything gets in the way of them, boom, immersion lost.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of unsettling to see a dead person. Supposedly dead, as a hologram, but it's a cool effect. I've seen it at Disney World, as you've ruined my childhood for me. And
You're welcome.
hopefully we had no one under the age of 10 who was planning on going to Disney World this summer.
If anyone under the age of 10 in this chat, I will be astonished.
Well, we have Twitches. Does that count?
Sometimes.
What I find amazing about it is how they did it itself in terms of whether it was composite CG or old footage of him. It says Twitches. Composites. You see, I don't know all these technical terms.
Yeah.
I assume that I don't think it was old footage. It might be. It might have been. I don't know, but
I don't know. Again, I didn't actually see it, but yeah, it would be really interesting to really deconstruct. I haven't actually looked at the extremely technical aspects of this, but from what I've seen, yeah, pretty much what it is.
So there is your music for today.
Your music news for the day.
the the only music we have for today, and now we're moving on to some awesome science, and we've got some pretty interesting new inventions coming up. This one I like this one, but
Mhm.
I have some small gripes with it. Are we evolved enough for replicators? Now, this one is kind of a twofold thing. It does have questions at the end that kind of are philosophical. Um, but the top of it explains that 3D printing technology has gotten so advanced that now we can have really small 3D printers in our homes that will make full models of things for like $1,000 or under $1,000 according to this thing. You can buy your own desktop replicator and make 3D objects in the privacy of your own home. So, they made the reference to Star Trek, which I have not seen very much of, so I don't know this technology.
So, basically, for those of you who don't know much of your Star Trek lore, basically what a replicator in the Star Trek galaxy is. And yeah, I know, I'm totally getting nerdy right now. I'm not that much of a Trekkie, but I know enough to hold my own in conversations sometimes. Sometimes. If you start getting into specific episodes and shit like that, I'll be like, nah,
What
fuck it, I'm
happened on
out.
episode 36 at 5 minutes?
Yeah, if you start talking about Q or anything like that, I'll be like, don't ask me. But the basics I do know. And what a replicator is essentially, it's a 3D printer, except it doesn't just do solid objects. Where a 3D printer, you can just print you could print a jawbone, or you could print a set of headphones if you tried hard enough, or you could print like a goblet or something like that. Um, you could do that with a 3D printer. With a replicator, however, you can go a little bit farther than that. With a replicator, you could say, I want a glass of hot chocolate or something like that. And it would not only make the mug for you, it would also give you the liquid inside. And basically what they're saying here is, could we actually handle that if we did develop it?
Tea,
And
Earl Grey,
personally,
hot, as they put it here in quotes. So I assume it's from the
I
show.
know I know we are fast approaching the point where um this is actually a feasible technology. I have a somewhat pessimistic view of the future where I kind of expect this to be a lot further off than it actually probably is, and that when it does come out, we will be totally boned for the rest of ever. But just the fact that we can actually think about this kind of thing is awesome.
Yeah,
The fact that we can be sitting here and legitimately discuss the merits of a 3D printer and a replicator, and just stuff that a decade ago was just science fiction. That's awesome.
I know.
We totally live in the future.
We live
Well,
we
we
live in
live
the
in the
present.
present. The present is the future.
The present is the future. Where does that come from? Doesn't that quote from
I
somewhere?
I don't remember.
Just one of those generic quotes. But this does bring up some interesting questions, and Twitch's apparently has his own question. In the privacy of your own home, what exactly are they getting at? Keep it calm, Twitches. So they do come up with some questions about history. There's obviously the economic questions. If if we can create things in our own homes, doesn't that ruin, business and
Yeah, when you have replicators, essentially, your economy is pretty much it's
it's almost a
nothing.
Marxist technology though, because basically, if you don't know it, the finality of the teleology of human, um, I guess, history in Marxist terms. Basically, the end goal is for us to not have to do any work that we don't want to do, and basically, technology takes over for us in terms of filling in our needs, and so we just have constant time to just leisure around and think.
Oh, that would be awful for me. I
You
already
already
do
did that enough.
that. I already do that. I imagine if I didn't actually have to do anything, I would just turn into like this big amorphous blob.
Well, yeah, but that's not really the problem here. It's not like but I mean that's the concept of Marx basically. It's
Yeah,
where we don't need it, and it
don't need
completely
to do anything.
obliterates the
Yeah.
economy. There's no more money at all. Everything is just if you need it, here you go, and that
Obviously, there will still be a bit of a economy because you will have to you will still have to have the people who sell the materials for the replicators to use because it's one of those scientific principles that you cannot create matter out of nothing. So you would
yet.
have to have an input material that it kind of makes everything out of. So there would be people selling that kind of input material, and there would also be the people selling the replicators themselves, maybe different models. And ours grows cannabis. Ours gives you blowjobs, uh, and in a good, well, in a I'm not really sure how my mind is trying to put the words in the sentence right now, but that's how I would see it.
Hmm.
But obviously, if we had these, most of the economy would pretty much just be shot. We would have to reinvent economy itself,
Well,
essentially.
in Marx's theory, it's we at least have no more monetary system. It'll be gone. Completely. I mean, we're already moving kind of towards that with the digital money. Eventually, it'll just be like, well, screw it.
Just pretend
Just
like I
pretend
made
we have money. It's not a real thing to begin with, anyways. It's digital, so it's really not real anymore. It's all virtual, but it's really virtual. In reality, I'm confused now. Crap.
it. Is this the real life?
From Twitch's
Ah,
interesting thought. Those with creativity will be the ones to power. Yeah, it's true. The ones that think the most with the most brain capacity and not the Wall Street barons will be the ones that control in that kind of situation. But we're still very far away from anything like that, and that's not even guaranteed that'll happen anyways. That's just a Marxist theory. Um,
anyways, we've probably
we probably
we've
should move
probably
on
made a
before.
yeah.
So let's move on to something incredibly dangerous, and you might not like it all, or you might think is the greatest thing ever created by
Oh,
mankind.
it could be the greatest thing ever created by all of mankind, but still be dangerous as all fuck.
Yeah. So now you can go
You
around the.
can't.
So
Those two aren't necessarily separate.
according to this new technology, we can go around the world in just 6 hours using a vacuum tube. Super fast public transport. So we just got this. This is from ASD, who sent it to me like an hour before I started streaming. So thank you for the last minute donation. Um, so imagine hopping on the tube in London on your way to work in the morning and getting off near your office in New York City in just 3/4 of an hour. This is technology that whoa. I mean, it's kind of like how airplanes were originally. It's just like it can't happen, and then it happened. So I really could see this happening, but I can see a lot of dangers to it.
Oh yeah, you're traveling at upwards of 6,500 kilometers per hour.
I don't know how they're gonna. I mean, because you have to take, when you're riding a train or a bus or an airplane, it's an individual unit that it controls itself basically. I mean, trains obviously they have rails, but still, you know, there's a little bit more control. I don't know how you're going to be able to control something like if say the vacuum tube explodes or something. Natural disaster destroys a piece of it.
Well, obviously, what you're seeing in the concept art here, the capsules, you see the guy loading his stuff into one of the bins, and then you see the people just sitting down in the back. That's not how it's gonna look.
No,
That's a nice fantasy, but that's not gonna end up
it'll be
happening.
much uglier.
There is at least going to be a capsule for a pilot, just for backup. Um, there will be computer parts and just computer components out the ass for everything. These
Yeah,
will be expensive as hell. Chances are, um, a ticket for one of these would be upwards of tens of thousands, and I'm just putting it really conservatively here.
yeah.
And I think tickets for these would be a one-way ticket would be upwards of
Oh,
$10,000
at least at the start, yeah.
easily.
At least at the start.
hmm Until this became a lot more widespread and a lot safer and a lot more widely
Hmm.
liked. This would be one of those, oh, you must be a gazillionaire you must be shitting money every day to
Well, if you
be
can go out around
riding
the
on
world
this.
every day, then yeah, I guess you.
Yeah, if you have the if you're one of those kinds of people who needs to travel around the entire world in 6 hours or less, yeah, you'll have the kind of money to waste on this.
Apparently, it's supposed to be more energy saving though, so energy energy
See,
conservatives will, be happy about this, I suppose.
I'm not really sure
And it's supposed to
how you can really.
minimalize G forces somehow, which
It's supposedly airless and frictionless, and the fact that it is airless would kind of help with it being frictionless, but I I don't know. I'd have to actually really look into the details of how this worked before I could really comment on
yeah, how do you
this
stop?
is a really bad idea or this is a really good idea or anything. But honestly, the fact that you can get from New York to Los Angeles about 18 times faster than if you went to the airport
Hmm.
in one of these, just that alone is appealing as all hell. Oh my god,
You
you
could
have
go to the
no
airport on one of
idea.
these and then be there in a minute. That'd be a waste of. Well, you could buy like short. I don't know. I don't know if they'd have. I think this would probably be only long distance only, but who knows? Imagine getting to the airport in 30 seconds and not having to worry about your train.
Despite bidding for several public infrastructure projects since 1997, most recently in Korea, the technology has not yet taken off.
I wonder why.
This is my surprised face.
Yeah, Mark had a good question. How do you stop?
Introduce friction.
Yeah.
That's essentially that's pretty much how it would have to be. You would have to slowly introduce air or other materials into the closed environment, a pretty good ways away from the station, but you would have to slowly calm this thing down because again, you're traveling at 6,500 kilometers an hour.
But like
That's fast.
if you're going that fast though, I mean, they'd have to build tubes obviously, but they can only really fit like one tube in like per pipe at a time, right? I mean, Because if you had another one in there at the same time and you added friction in for the first one so it could stop, would the air actually get to the second one as well? Wouldn't it mess up? I mean, I don't know if you can. I'm not a physicist, so I really have.
I'm not the kind of guy who you'd want to go asking shit like this about.
I'm sure someone's thought about it, but
Definitely.
it's still an interesting technology, and maybe we'll see some. Maybe we'll see more of it in the future. I don't know. I don't know where it'll lead. I'm not a transportation expert, so I guess we'll just move on unless you have any last comments.
Um, Real quick,
Mm-hmm.
just as a comparison, 6,500 kilometers an hour is about it's about half of the orbital speed at geostationary orbit. When you are orbiting the Earth and you're not getting any closer or any farther away from the Earth, the speed that you are maintaining right there, that's about twice the speed that you're going in this. That's only twice the speed. That's it. You're going really,
Really fast.
really goddamn fast.
Well, you can in order to maintain orbit, yeah. That's. I'm just thinking of the money it would take to build this as Piano Slave. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you couldn't use this to slingshot yourself out of the Earth's atmosphere.
I hope
Because
not.
you can't maintain an escape velocity at this speed. You have to get, I believe it's upwards of 10,000 kilometers an
Some
hour.
kind of equation that I remembered once.
Yeah, you have to get really damn fast. You couldn't use this to slingshot out of the Earth's orbit. It's not even close. But you could get really pretty close on the moon.
Yeah. Yeah, let's build one of these on the moon.
Yeah, we can just slingshot ourselves into space.
And then we'll create a nice lunar base on the moon. And I probably should get out of the politics of that. And we'll see.
Oh, space lawyers.
Alright.
Anyways, we should move on.
Anyway, let's move on before things get weird. So
Before things get weird.
uh, they're just gonna get weirder. Enjoy the normality while it lasts, is my motto. So,
Oh, yes.
will you miss DVDs when they're gone? The DVD is dead, and you helped kill it, according to this article. And because of our constant movement towards just streaming online, buying movies by Netflix, the DVD is just slowly dying out. You just finished converting your VHS movies to a DVD. Well, now you can pay like $2 more to Walmart, and they'll give you the digital copy of the movie. Basically, this article is about everything is moving towards. Media is also moving along with the economy and everything else. It's all moving towards digital and digital only. Wow, it's kind of sad to see things like this dying out because I grew up in the '90s and we had
Yeah,
we had
their
VHSs.
nostalgia factor.
Yeah, I don't think that they're gonna go away entirely, as this
No,
article
just like
suggests.
vinyls. Just like vinyls and paperback
Yeah.
books and
You can
old
still buy
manuscripts.
VHSs and vinyls, so
Yeah, they're gonna be more of a collector's item
they're gonna be
now.
more of a novelty. Yeah, it's gonna be more for the nostalgic purpose than the efficiency purpose. But basically, for the public, realm, it's dying out. Simply because why would you go out buy a CD? I mean a DVD when you could get it on home and get it at home for much cheaper
Yeah.
and faster. Uh, I mean, Blu-ray is still pretty big right now, and I don't think DVDs are going to go anywhere anytime soon. But it is slowly going away. Right now, Walmart will sell disc owners a digital copy of a movie if it exists within the library of Ultraviolet, which is an interesting movie in itself, but the company Ultraviolet, which is a collection of some uh, studios. So, it gives a nice list of pros and cons here of newer technology.
Oh, I must have missed. Oh, there. I didn't scroll down far enough.
Why would you? Let's see, what does the chat say? We have to do better in terms of internet accessibility than we are now. As a
Yeah.
country, we're not even close to having the entire country having access to high-speed internet. That is true right now. Most of the country does not have high-speed access internet. I think only Fraser does, but he's not even in the country. He just sucks up
Yeah,
all of.
Fraser doesn't count. He's in Canada.
He has all of my internet. That's all that matters.
I would start going into details and stuff like that, but I simply don't know enough about
Did you
it
have one
to
of those?
give an honest opinion.
Did you have one of those tape rewinders? Oh, those are amazing. They made a lot of noise. They were just like squares. They're rectangles. You put the tape
the old
in
VCR rewinders.
and
You watch a movie and then you toss it in the
in the rewinder.
in the rewinder, and you just sit there and watch it.
Rewind.
Uh-huh.
As it made that loud blurring noise. That was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, when we went to DVD, I was like, oh, I don't have to rewind
Oh, I don't
things.
get to use one of those anymore.
Well, I was disappointed and excited at the same time because I didn't
Mhm.
have to rewind anymore, which was amazing.
You know, they make DVD rewinders.
Why haven't I bought this?
Because it's fucking stupid.
How does that work?
How do you think it works? It's a little thing that you pop a DVD on, you press a button, and it spins it around for a while. That's it.
That doesn't do anything,
It doesn't
though.
do anything. It's just
Because,
for the...
because DVDs are all read by laser.
Exactly. There is nothing to rewind.
It slowly breaks your CD and then it creates another one using the replicator technology.
No, it just slowly breaks your CD.
Oh, okay. Alright, well, is there anything interesting in these pros and cons? I really didn't look at them too much. I mean, obviously, the main con is ping, again, for the content you already own, but
Yeah.
there's some legal stuff with...
Obviously, we've still got a ways to go with digital distribution, but that's a discussion for another day. That's a
Twitch has
discussion.
recently converted some of his DVDs to vinyl to prepare for the future. Much better quality, I find.
I didn't know those two were interchangeable, but okay.
Yeah, how do you do that?
Magic.
I'm sure there's some company out there that can turn your
Black
DVDs to
magic.
vinyl. Black Magic. They use Black Magic. Apparently, Griffin needs to change their blinker fluid in their car, and we reminded them somehow. You're welcome.
So, anyways,
Well, I'll take credit for that.
moving on.
Moving on. So this is a big uproar. Big uproar. You said that it was a big uproar even in like the mods.
Oh yes, this one. You passed over it, and I was like, "Wait, are we skipping this?"
No,
And,
no.
then I just realized I must have had them out of order.
Cartoon.
Cartoon Network had a very interesting April Fool's Day joke. On April 1st, Cartoon Network viewers were treated to a re-airing of Toonami, and most of the internet was like, "Oh my god,
Oh my
this
God.
is actually this is a thing. This is actually happening." Cartoon Network, you better not be dicks. And
this is only
not-
like one time.
And so obviously the next day, everyone realized this was an April Fool's joke, and the collective internet went fuck.
Now there is some light in this tunnel of darkness. Steve Bloom who does the voice of Tom. He also does the voice of I don't know if I should say because they're playing Mass Effect 2 right now. He does a voice in Mass Effect 2, so you'll be hearing it from him at least sometime soon. Um, he's very big in the anime industry, at least from the translation industry, uh, of anime from Japanese to English. He says, for the record, Wikipedia, I did not say it's here to stay, but I sure hope so. Let them know you want it, people. Now that I mean that's not a definite that is going to stay because obviously it's a corporate decision and not based on him because he obviously wants it. But
Well, that is just script. Oh no, wait, no, that's Steve Bloom's official fan page. Never mind. I was gonna say that was just one of those scripted things that was on the show. I didn't read that bit.
yeah, so apparently I mean they had a full night of Toonami. I unfortunately missed it.
I missed it too, but
I was
that's 'cause I
quite
don't watch
disappointed
TV.
that I missed it. I got on like the next day and everyone's like, Toonami was on last
Toonami!
night.
Oh my god!
Oh
Toonami!
my god,
And it's
Toonami was
like,
on last night, and I'm like,
ah.
damn it, damn it.
I missed what now?
I missed what? I missed the greatest thing since sliced bread again. Fuck. Anyways, so
But
they show Dragon Ball Z, Gundam Wing, all the big animes, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, which I really want to see again. They also did a review of Mass Effect 3, which you can check out if you just go to Mass Effect 3 Toonami 2012. I assume you'll find it.
just Google it.
You'll find it. It'll be easy to find.
Learn
I watched the review and I mean it's in classic format that they used to do.
It's classic Toonami.
It's classic Toonami. It is. It really is. I saw bits of clips here and there. It is. Also, there is. I don't have their page up for this right now, but I saw a really good. Do you know Mars Girl who is on
Yeah.
That Guy with Glasses?
Yeah.
She did a very interesting news editorial on this.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, and I suggest that you go check it out. It's about 8 minutes. It is very good.
I might
She
actually have to
she
watch
points
that
out
episode.
all of the major points to the show that happened and to the possibilities in the future. And she basically says how we can bring Toonami back if you have any interest in this. So there you go. I mean, I hope that they do bring it back because it was really awesome when it was on. It was a great way to get exposed to a lot of anime at once.
Yeah, the popular consensus on the internet is, oh, they were just they were doing it as kind of a kind of testing the waters, seeing if the community is ready for Toonami again. Whether or not that's actually true, we'll have to wait and see. But
Bring it back.
for now, I'm pretty sure the collective internet, including like half of the mods, is just like, we want Toonami.
We want Toonami. It was a great way to get us introduced to anime and other shows. It had some great. I mean, Tom was great. He was great in this one apparently. So so there you go. Bring it back, guys. Help us bring it back. And now we're going to move on to a story that kind of relates to video games awesome in a very indirect way.
You could kind of also say, speaking of the mods, because Casual is she is an Oregonian, so she actually brought, yeah, she brings up a lot of this kind of stuff, but she brought up this in mod chat as well.
So the Simpsons Springfield's location revealed? Question mark. The writer of the is the creator of the show Matt. I don't know how to pronounce his last
Matt
name.
Groening.
Groening.
Matt, yeah,
Groening.
you know what? I've never actually learned how to pronounce his last name.
Has finally answered the question. Maybe. When asked about
Graining.
Graining, when asked about where Springfield was, he says Springfield was named after Springfield, Oregon. The only reason that is that when I was a kid, the TV show Father Knows Best took place in the town of Springfield, and I was thrilled because I imagined that it was a town next to Portland, my hometown. When I grew up, I realized it was just a fictitious name. I also figured out that Springfield was one of the most common names for a city in the United States, which it is. In anticipation of the success of the show, this will be cool. Everyone will think it's their Springfield, and they do. Matt groaning. All right, thanks, Switches.
According to Wikipedia, it's graining.
Well, he wants me to say groaning.
Well, fuck you, Twitches.
So no, he does not actually say that it really takes place in Springfield, Oregon, but he pretty much does.
Yeah, it's... Well, he says straight up, Springfield was named after Springfield, Oregon. I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure. I mean...
There's not really much you can say against that. Matt Groening, the guy who invented Springfield,
well, he said it was
and the
his
Simpsons,
inspiration.
said
He doesn't actually say that
this.
it takes place directly in Oregon, but
Well, no,
it's
but
pretty
it's
heavily
named after it.
It's named after it, so I'm gonna assume that it does. So all of casual that lives in Oregon will be happy now.
A nice thought from Boyne in the chat. Wouldn't it be nice to actually go there and see a family similar to the Simpsons? Wouldn't that just be hilarious? You go to Springfield, Oregon, and just Homer and Marge are just walking down the street, and you're just like, huh?
I wouldn't know how to react. Nope.
Neither would I. It'd just be like,
How do you get your
well,
hair
that
like
was
that,
odd.
Marge? How do you get your hair like that? That'd be the only question I could ask.
yeah, I'd have to go up and ask, how'd you do your hair?
Is there a pull in there? I don't know. I would have never have guessed Oregon, says Piano Slave. Neither have I. Neither would have I.
I never cared, so...
I mean, it really didn't matter to me, but it was related to, a Minecraft show we did.
Yeah.
The only one that I was a part of. Because I just have not... I can't even get into the server right now, so... So, I guess we'll move on to our last story of this section. And this one's pretty cool. This one's really cool. This kid built a cardboard arcade. This was amazing. Kane Monroy just might be the coolest 9-year-old we've ever met. We've never met. Check out his homemade cardboard arcade that went viral. It's guaranteed to make you smile. Did they just rhyme there?
Hell if I know.
So basically this kid by himself over summer made a personal arcade in his garage, I guess. Apparently it's fairly functional. And I'm trying to get some words here, but it's a great story. I mean, just imagine there's a kid working in his garage with cardboard and making things that resemble an arcade. I don't know how to explain that in like any words that, my English is failing me basically.
It's just cool. Is what it is.
It's a true labor of love, apparently. His dad owns a factory which ships parts to people online. The kid takes the boxes and makes... that's how he... I think they said it somewhere in here.
Yeah.
So basically, where is this kid anyways? I don't remember exactly where this is from.
Los Angeles.
Oh, there. Oh, yeah. So if you wanted to go visit there, that it is now open to the public. You can buy 2 turns for $1, or you can buy 500 turns, which is a fun pass for $2. It's just a heartwarming story. It really is. I mean, you don't get to see this kind of innovation in kids very often. It's going out and making something with your own hands. That's kind of a thing of the past almost. There's a nice documentary video here if you wanted to look at it. I can post a link, I guess. Because I don't think this is anywhere else but on this news site. So I'll just post it. Hopefully my chat's working. So there it is.
I see it.
Okay. At least he didn't build a rocket, and that was so 1980s.
I think the best part about this though is we're gonna go from heartwarming, awesome, aw, this is great, to with this story to really what the fuck
To-
with our next
With our next
with
section,
everything
yeah,
coming up.
it's gonna go downhill rather
It's
quickly.
all downhill from here.
Yeah, so enjoy the story while we have it up here.
I enjoyed this while it lasts.
They are setting up a fund for him to go to college. Apparently, he's really brilliant. Apparently, because I couldn't do this. Could you,
Or
Cliff?
You could. You just never thought of it.
No, I couldn't do this.
Yeah, chances are. Not to be vain or anything, but yeah, I probably could.
If you had a lot of boxes, some duct tape, and
If I had a shit ton of boxes and nothing better to do with my time,
a lot of creativity,
hell yeah, I'd do this.
then you could build your own Minecraft world out of boxes.
Exactly.
Has no one done this?
Why need computers when this?
Build your own Minecraft world, please, Cliff. So we can all go visit it. Alright, so this is our last story of this section. We are going to take a quick break. We'll see you in a bit, guys.
All right.